Let me ask you something uncomfortable. What if some people aren't just misunderstood? What if they're wired differently from the start? There's a verse that used to bother me for years. Psalm 58:3 says, "The wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they are born." And I remember thinking, how can a baby be wicked? Babies are supposed to be innocent, pure. But the word that stands out is estranged. Not evil, not demonic. Estranged, separated, disconnected. What if the verse isn't saying babies are monsters, but that some are born with a kind of internal disconnect? Modern neuroscience actually supports this idea more than we'd like to admit. Studies show that individuals with psychopathic traits often have differences in the amygdala, the part of the brain responsible for fear and empathy, and the prefrontal cortex, which handles impulse control and moral reasoning. In some cases, when they see someone suffering, their brain doesn't respond the way yours or mine would. That's not opinion, that's brain imaging. And here's the twist. Psychopathy isn't just criminals and killers, it's a spectrum. Some people with those traits end up in prison. Others end up in boardrooms. Same wiring, different outcomes. Now take it a step further. Genes aren't destiny. There are genetic predispositions toward aggression and antisocial behavior, but they can stay dormant. This is where epigenetics comes in. Trauma, chronic stress, and especially early childhood experiences can activate those traits. In a way, biology loads the gun, and environment pulls the trigger. Psychologists like Sam Vaknin argue that if a child doesn't properly separate and individuate from their caregiver, they can become emotionally stuck, physically grown, but mentally operating from a toddler-like mindset. And what does a toddler want? Control, attention, validation, limited empathy. Now imagine that mindset inside a fully grown, intelligent adult. That's where narcissism shows up, not just as arrogance, but as a fragile ego wrapped in superiority. These individuals often attach themselves to nurturing people, only to devalue and reject them, almost like they're unconsciously replaying unresolved childhood patterns. It's tragic, but it's also dangerous. Because one thing people learn too late is this: you cannot love someone into developing a conscience. According to Martha Stout, roughly 1 in 25 people may lack a conscience to some degree. Not movie villains, real people, neighbors, co-workers, partners. They lie easily, shift blame, and hurt others without losing sleep. You'll try to reason with them, understand them, even pray for them. But introspection requires empathy, and if that's missing, so is the ability to self-correct. Some call it generational curses. Psychology calls it intergenerational trauma, patterns passed down until someone confronts them. The real shock isn't that these people exist, it's how common and subtle they are. Not all are violent. Some destroy reputations instead of bodies, confidence instead of property, families instead of strangers, and they don't feel remorse. That's the difference. Most people struggle, reflect, and feel guilt. A true sociopath doesn't. So, what do you do with that? You stop romanticizing red flags. You stop believing love alone fixes someone who refuses accountability. Awareness isn't paranoia, it's protection. Because sometimes, the most dangerous people don't look dangerous at all.